Howdy friends, today is an exciting day because this is my very first YouTube tutorial video and I'm going to teach you all the things that you didn't know your iPhone camera could do. That's right, this video has everything to do with your iPhone camera and teaching you some things that you probably didn't know it could do. So I'm not gonna waste any time, let's jump right in. The first tip is pretty simple. It's how to access your iPhone camera very quickly. If you're using an iPhone 10 or an 8, you simply press the camera button on your lock screen. Or you can simply swipe from the top right down, bringing up your control center, and then tap your camera icon there. If you're using an iPhone 7 or older, you're gonna want to swipe from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen to bring up your camera, or swipe up from the bottom, bringing up your control center, and tap the camera icon there. Now the next thing I want to teach you about your iPhone camera that you may not know it can do is how to adjust exposure. Maybe you're at a scene that's a little bright and you want it a little bit darker. When you tap on the screen, you'll notice that there's a little sun. Now, what you do when that sun pops up is you simply drag your finger down and the image will get darker, or drag the sun up and the image gets brighter. The next thing that you can do is tap and hold on the screen, and that will bring up auto exposure, auto focusing lock. So no matter which way you turn your phone, the exposure and the focus will never change. This is great for a scenario where you have a bright area of an image and a darker area of an image. If you want the brighter area of the image to be properly exposed, you simply just tap on that, press, hold until it locks, drag the sun down till you get the proper exposure, and then take your picture. This little tip works in all of the camera settings except panorama mode, so keep that in mind. Now to go through the different options that you have when you're inside your camera. First one is going to be time-lapse mode. Time-lapse is a mode where you take a number of pictures under a certain amount of time, it combines it together to create a movie. Time-lapse works best if you have an object that is perfectly still with objects moving around it. For example, if you were to take a building with nice clouds passing over the top of it, that makes a really good time lapse. Or you could even do a streetscape with cars and people passing by. The best way to do it on your iPhone is to find your subject, place your camera where it's not gonna move, either with a tripod, lean it up against something, stick it on something, whatever you can find to keep your camera completely steady throughout the entire time lapse. Hit start. What your iPhone will do then is take a number of photos until you tell it to stop. Once you tell it to stop, it will then process that and make it into a movie. The cool thing about it is, once it's done, you can go in and trim it and edit it. I'll show you that now. All we have to do is go to the top right corner, hit edit, it brings up this menu. This is your playhead, which you can drag from left to right to scroll through your video. These arrows on the left and right you can pull in and adjust to make the perfect length video that you want. Then hit done. You have two options here. You have trim original, which is going to cut the original film and not save a copy, or save as a new clip. Save as a new clip will then preserve your original 24-second video and save this new clip as a new version. So we'll do save as a new clip, so I have two videos. So now I have a 14-second video and our original 24-second video. Next on the list is slow-mo. What your iPhone camera is capable of doing is shooting at a high frame rate, which allows you to then slow that footage down. Now, just like we can edit the time lapse, we're gonna jump in here and edit the slow-mo portion as well. Once you have your slow-mo video, we go up, we hit edit. Just like in the time lapse, we have our playhead, which just scrubs through all of the footage. Then we have these over here that shorten the clip. But then we add something new. We add these lines up here. In between these lines is going to be what plays in slow-mo. So let's say we only want just a small section of this video to play. in slow-mo, then we make that gap a little bit smaller. And if you wanted to make your video shorter, just like in time-lapse, click and drag on the ends to the middle. And when you hit done, you can either trim the original or you can save this new clip as a copy. Next is gonna be live photo. Now this is actually a really cool feature because with this on, you take a photo and it actually takes a little bit of a video clip instead. With it turned on, let's say you take a photo of you and your friends and somebody's eyes are closed. Oh, I know, they ruined your image. Maybe they always ruin your image. But if you have live photo on, here's how you can save it. Find the photo, go up to the top right, click edit. The timeline shows up just like it did with the video. You then can scrub through and find the perfect shot. Then it pops up and says, make key photo. Go ahead and tap that, hit done, and that's your new photo, just like that. The next icon to the right is going to be your self timer. The only reason you would need this is if you wanted to take a picture of yourself that wasn't your typical selfie, you actually wanted to set the phone down somewhere, prop it up on something, and actually step back and get your full body in the photo. Or if you don't have a friend or a stranger, maybe you don't like to talk to strangers, so maybe you don't want to ask a stranger to take your photo. If that's the case, then you would set your phone up and you would select either 3 seconds or 10 seconds in order for you to step away from the camera, to get back in it and smile. Lastly is going to be panoramic mode. Panorama is amazing if you're out on top of a mountain, if you're at the beach, if you're at a lake. If you want to capture a much broader field of view, you're going to use panorama mode. Now, 2 things to keep in mind for panorama mode. Panorama mode does not work best if you start here and you go all the way around like this. It will work, but then you'll see a gap at the top and the bottom of your picture, which you'll be forced to crop in, which you'll lose some of your image. So, to get around that, set your phone down on a flat surface, and when you start taking the photo, rotate it along the vertical axis like so. This will avoid that gap at the top and the bottom of your panorama, and you'll get a full, nice image. It will also be a lot sharper from left to right. The next tip is going to be if you tap the left side, it'll switch from starting the panorama on the left and going to the right, and it'll start it on the right and go to the left. And the last tip is when you're shooting your panorama and you're going all the way around and you're done, instead of reaching down and hitting the stop button, all you have to do is just turn the phone back the other way. And once you do that, it'll automatically stop and save to your camera roll. All right, friends, that's gonna wrap up our video for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you got something out of it. If you have an idea for a future video on something that you would like to learn, by all means, please comment below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you get alerted when I post more videos, and we'll catch you on our next video.